let me go over one more Keynesian model. And in this model, we're going to introduce exports and imports. You know, we now live in a very globalized world. So exports and imports now are much more important than they used to be. So how would we incorporate that in a Keynesian model? Well, here's the way it's done. Take that equation and now add two terms. Add exports, X for exports. And let's assume exports are exogenous. So exports add to aggregate demand. If people demand more exports, then companies will hire more workers, income will rise, consumption will rise. Imports, on the other hand, subtract from aggregate demand. If you spend money on imports, that will provide employment and national income abroad, but it won't affect domestic income. Okay, it'll actually subtract from aggregate demand. So put this term in here, capital M for imports. X minus M would be sometimes called net exports. That adds to your aggregate demand, the level of net exports. Now, we're going to assume imports are what kind of a variable? Endogenous. Exports are what kind of a variable? Exogenous. Okay. So what we've done, we've added another endogenous variable to our model. So we're going to need another equation. Let's use this for our consumption function, the same thing we used before. A plus B times Y minus T. So let's assume we do have taxes in this model. And consumption on domestic goods, domestic consumption now, is a linear function of disposable income. Same as before. Taxes are assumed to be a linear function of income. And we need one more equation because we introduced a new endogenous variable M. So capital M for imports. Let's assume imports are also a linear function of disposable income, just like domestic consumption. Okay. And let's let E be the intercept term. And small m, now this is a small m, times Y minus T. So imports are assumed to be a linear function of disposable income, just like domestic consumption. The only difference is the intercept term likely is different. We have E instead of A. And also this coefficient on disposable income, we allow it to be different than we do for domestic consumption. Okay. So our parameters are now A, B, D, T, E, and M. Okay. So let's write all this down. What's the endogenous variables? The variables to be explained by this model, they are, anybody? M, capital M, Y, C, and what's the other one? T, capital T. Okay, those are the endogenous variables, 4 of them. Notice we also have 4 equations. Okay. The exogenous variables are I, G, and X. Easy to find the exogenous variables. They all have 0 subscripts. And then parameters. What are the parameters? A, B, D, T, little t, E, and little m. Okay. The parameters, all lowercase letters.